Alright, we just need to look at a couple of things before we can do our disappearing circles challenge, and that is how we can manipulate styles with JavaScript. So far we've been manipulating content, mostly by changing this in HTML variable. But we can do the same with styles. So let's add a paragraph. I'll call it more text. And we'll have the very boring, this is some text. So that's not going to be styled at all. But let's create a button with an ID of style text. And we'll have the text style text on it. There we go. Obviously it doesn't do anything yet. But now let's add some code for that button. So in just the same way, document.get element by ID. And the element that we want to get is the style text button. And then we want to add an onClick function to that. So this is going to be a function with curly brackets. And then what we want to do is just add some style to the more text paragraph. So for example, we want to go through the process, get element by ID. And the element we want to get this time is more text. And then instead of inner HTML, we do style. And then, for example, if we want to change the color to red, we would have .style.color equals, and then, in quotes, red. Simple as that. Now let's have a look. Style text. It goes red. Fantastic. Changing the font size is very similar, but slightly trickier because it's not exactly the same. We don't use font size because we don't like that hyphen in the JavaScript. We just use font size instead. So that's using the capitalization similar to get element by ID, small f, but then capital S. And let's say we want to make it a font size of 50 pixels. Let's have a look. There we go. It's massive. And so feel free to play around with that. You can obviously combine several styles if you want by just having multiple commands like this. But the particular other one I want to show you, which we're going to be using in our disappearing circles challenge, is to make it disappear. And we can do that by setting the display property to none. So as you can imagine, that just sets the CSS display property to none, which effectively makes it disappear. Let's check it out. There we go. It's gone. So it's not even just disappeared, but it's actually been removed from the flow of the page, and so the button moves up as a result. So feel free to get creative and play around to see what styles you can affect with JavaScript. But we're going to go on now to our mini challenge, disappearing circles.